Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Today we're coming in with another classic Spanish recipe, this time from the beautiful Canary Islands, known as las Islas Canarias. We're talking Arvejas Compuestas. This is basically Spanish peas and potatoes. And let me tell you, this dish is filled with so many simple yet delicious flavors, made with heart-healthy ingredients, and super easy to make, where there's no tricky techniques or special equipment needed. Folks, this is the perfect side dish for dinner next to some grilled fish, or even for breakfast next to a couple of fried eggs. Either way, it's the kind of food that with each bite, it's gonna fill your body with so much goodness. All right, let's just dive right into this. I'm gonna add in 4 eggs into a saucepan and fill it with some water to about ½ an inch above the eggs, which is 1.25 centimeters. And we'll heat it with a high heat. Once it comes to a boil, we'll place the lid on the saucepan and turn off the heat. And we're gonna leave the eggs to sit here between 10 to 11 minutes to end up with perfectly hard-boiled eggs. In the meantime, let's get the rest of the elements ready to put this dish together. I'm gonna heat a large fry pan with a medium heat and add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. Important to use the good stuff here, as this is the base fat of the dish and what really flavors all the ingredients. Link where you can get the Spanish one I'm using in the description box below. While the oil is heating, I'm going to finely chop 1 medium-sized onion and roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic. Then we'll add the chopped ingredients into the hot fry pan and we'll mix them around, that way they're all coated in the olive oil. And as you know, I always like to mix this around continuously, that way everything evenly sautés. After 3 to 4 minutes and the onion is nice and translucent, I'm going to add in 1 cup of tomato sauce, which is about 250 grams. I made my sauce by finely grating fresh tomatoes, but you can also use canned tomato sauce here, or even passata. And we'll give it a mix and simmer it for a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to cut 2 medium-sized potatoes that have already been peeled, washed, and patted dry. Each one into small bite-sized pieces that are 2 centimeters thick, which is about 3/4 of an inch. For this recipe, important to use potatoes that are a bit more waxy than starchy, as they hold their shape better when they're cooking. I'm using Yukon Golds, but you can also use new potatoes, Golden Delight, or even red potatoes. After 5 to 6 minutes, and the tomato sauce has slightly thickened, we'll add in the chopped potatoes, along with ½ a cup of white wine, which is 120 milliliters. You can substitute this for any broth of your choice with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, which is 2 grams. And season generously with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until it's well mixed together and then simmer it for a few minutes. After 2 to 3 minutes, and the alcohol has been cooked off in the wine, we'll add in some water, just enough to barely cover the potatoes. You can also use chicken broth here, or even vegetable broth if you like. However, traditionally water is used here, that way the liquid doesn't overpower the flavors of the dish. And we'll also add in 2 bay leaves and turn it up to a high heat. Once it comes to a boil, we'll place the lid on the pan and lower the fire to a low-medium heat, and we're going to simmer this between 15 to 20 minutes or until those potatoes are just cooked through. After 15 to 20 minutes, those potatoes should be perfectly cooked through. You know, you can always pierce them with a toothpick just to ensure that they're done. For the final step, I'm going to add in a bag of frozen peas. The size of the bag that I'm using is 16 ounces, which is 450 grams. And important to add the peas in they're frozen. You don't want to thaw them out, as when they're frozen is when they have their peak freshness. And we'll give it a mix until everything's well mixed together. And then we'll place the lid back on the pan and simmer this for another 5 to 6 minutes or until the peas are just tender. After 5 to 6 minutes and those peas are nice and tender, you know you don't want to overcook them, otherwise they can easily get a mushy texture. This dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat and transfer some of the mixture into a serving dish. And for the final touch, We'll garnish it with our hard-boiled eggs that we cooked earlier. Check it out, Spanish peas and potatoes. Beautiful presentation, heart-healthy ingredients, and all done in about 40 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Once again, folks, Arvejas Compuestas, a beautiful dish from the Canary Islands. So excited to try this. Here we go. And look how beautiful that turned out. I'm telling you, that right there is absolutely fabulous. Those peas are nice and tender with absolutely no mush. The potatoes add a beautiful texture to the dish. And then the rest of the ingredients in those eggs, a beautiful lift of flavors. You saw this easy to make, heart-healthy ingredients. Give it a try at home. Perfect side dish for dinner next to some grilled fish, or even for breakfast next to a couple fried eggs. Either way, the kind of food that with each bite is gonna fill you with so much goodness. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Emily Hamilton, Manuel J. Rosales, David Houston, and Britt Saunders. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.